Hey guys, what's up? So I spent about the last month and a half building this desk in my spare time, as well as doing the other YouTube videos that I've put up over the last month and a half. And there were a lot of mistakes made, a lot of figuring out had to happen, and I frankly really enjoyed the process. So what's going to happen is I'm going to roll some footage of me building it, and I guess I'll talk over that and let you guys know exactly what's going on during each part of the process. Oh, wait. Before we start, there's a couple of things that I wanted to say to sort of preface the whole thing. It's a really, really basic desk. It's a red oak with a Minwax fruitwood stain. And I chose that one particularly because I didn't want it to be leaning too much towards the yellow or towards the red ends of the hues as far as oak, because it's really common for oaks to either be more yellow or more red, and this I feel like got sort of in the middle. It's not quite as yellow as a honey oak, and it's not quite as red as some other stains that I cannot think of right now. And with this, I was able to do some pretty good cable management. I used some kind of like a rain gutter instead of an actual cable raceway, because it's so much cheaper to go with gutter material than dedicated cable management stuff, because anything that has a specific use case tends to be much more expensive. They tack on a premium just because it's like, oh, this is what it's for. So I went the more cost-effective way, and it's not an aesthetic thing because you're not going to see it anyway. It's supposed to be out of the way. You don't want to see the cables or what's holding them, so that's fine. It is a bit over-engineered. It's not a complaint. It's just an observation. It's very, very sturdy. Basically, at any point where two pieces of wood meet at a leg, there's going to be a triangle brace between them. So it is a really simple design. I designed it myself in Blender. Really basic. I use Blender because I know how to use it, and it's free, and you can basically do whatever you want with it. And I would, if anybody were interested in doing anything like this, I would definitely recommend Blender if you don't have experience with other stuff, because it's free. So that's it, and now I'm gonna roll the footage and talk over it and let you know what I'm doing and whatever. You know what's going on. So the first thing that I noticed about the wood when I brought it home was that there were cracks along the length. Since I don't have the tools to properly seal these, I had to cut them off. So I measured to the end of the split and mark it to cut. A split like that could be very bad for the structural integrity of whatever is being built, so they need to be taken care of. These planks are going to make up the top of the desk, so I cut each one to the same length so that I can edge glue them later. This piece here is a 2-inch thick monster that I'm going to make the legs out of, so I have to cut it to length and then slice each leg out of it on the table saw. You might notice that I'm not wearing gloves or long sleeves. This is on purpose. If a glove or sleeve gets caught on the blade, it can suck your whole body onto it, which can easily cause some serious damage, and I'm not really into that. I hope it's obvious, but this is sped up. I'm going slowly and carefully. I like my hands, and I don't see any reason to part with them. These boards are going to be lateral braces between the legs, as well as all the triangle braces and a couple of smaller pieces. Once again, slow, steady, deliberate. Every movement has to be on purpose when the saw is running. These are the triangle braces that I mentioned earlier. The edge glue, it's a really effective method. I just struggled to get it right. I don't have a jointer to make the sides of the boards truly straight, so it was a lot of screw-ups and retries. Also, I had to sand down a ton of glue buildup. This is the Minwax fruitwood stain I mentioned earlier. With wood like oak that has tight, even pores, it's fine to just throw on the stain like I'm doing right now. But if you're using pine, cherry, or another blotch-prone wood, it would be a good idea to use a pre-stain conditioner so that the stain is absorbed evenly and you don't have spots that are darker or lighter than others. For the finish, I used Minwax satin polyurethane and thinned it with mineral spirits. This makes it easier to apply with a rag as a wipe-on finish. Brushing on a finish is a lot more difficult than a wipe-on. It'll usually produce nicer results, but I needed to get this done, and the difference in aesthetic was really not a concern at this point. And just before the last coat, I sanded it down one more time. Also notice that I am wearing a respirator, and the garage door and windows are all open. The assembly is the most fun part, because until then it was all just a bunch of wood. So the desktop wasn't flat, which is why I had to clamp down the boards on the sides to get them to screw in properly. So that's the whole thing. If you liked the video, give it a like. If not, don't give it a like. Subscribe if you made it this far in the video and you are intrigued to see my future projects. Here's a sneak peek on my next one. It's a customized wooden PC, sort of based on the Dancase A4 SFX, but with modification in terms of airflow. So I should be starting on that this week. So if you want to subscribe to catch that one, don't be afraid.